What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Weezy. Welcome to Jay Weezy's World. So it is a beautiful Saturday in paradise. It is September 20th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been a busy day already, and I have a lot to do. Right now, I'm about to go chop up these tree trunks, aka legs, and yeah, get some cardio in. So after that, I gotta go get the car washed and run some more errands. And so, hey, that's what we do on Saturdays as adults. We stay busy. We want to relax, but things gotta get done. So, also, let me just stop and say this. Last night, wife and I, we went and saw Him. Shout out to Marlon Wayans. Shout out to, I think, Tariq Withers, I believe is his last name. But Tariq, phenomenal movie. I was paranoid because I really wanted to go see it. It looks good. And I've been seeing all these guys that went and saw like the pre-screen Thursday just dogging it, talking about it was all over the place. They walked out, this, that, and the third. And I don't know what you guys are talking about. And like, people's opinion is their opinion. But I'm going to say you're wrong, and I'm going to stand 10 toes down. That was a phenomenal movie. 10 out of 10. Definitely recommend. Yeah, like, I think for people that like Jordan Peele movies, which first of all, again, he was the producer, not the director. So I think people are like trying to give the movie, like, give it a pass because he wasn't the director. It was a good movie flat out. Like, people thought it was just gonna be a football movie. Like, if you saw the trailer, you know what it's about. And it's kind of silly that people are like, well, I didn't know what it was about. I didn't watch the trailer. Like, it was good from the beginning. Well, let me say this. The first 10, 15, 20 minutes was a little bit slow because they're kind of building up a little bit. But the rest of the movie, I mean, it was jam-packed, super interesting. I mean, it just covers how obsessed we are with football, how athletes, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but just how athletes are groomed, so on and so forth. And I thought it was a phenomenal movie. And again, I would definitely recommend it. And oh, and shout out to Marlon Wayans. I did a TikTok and Instagram story, and he reposted it. That was super dope. I've been a Marlon Wayans fan for years. I mean, people always think he's just full of comedy. If you've seen Requiem for a Dream and his other serious roles, you know he is an amazing actor when he does drama or serious roles. It's just, he's predominantly known for comedy. So if you haven't seen any of his serious roles, trust me, you'll understand. And if you've seen those movies, you understand me more than others. So, but I'm about to go chop up these tree trunks, get this cardio in. I hate doing cardio post legs, but I gotta get cardio in. I'm just a little bit over a week out from the 5K, the Diamondbacks race for cancer, next Sunday, the 28th. Super excited about that. We went to a D-back game earlier this week that kind of came with the package that we did. Oh, quick little side note. I didn't know this. I've been at plenty of like athletic games, you know, baseball, football, so on. Predominantly baseball, and I never knew this. So with the package, it came with Upper Deck. So it was versus the Giants, right? The San Francisco Giants. You get to choose one of the 3 games you want to go to, and they have the Upper Deck basically kind of cover for the people that are involved in the race. So what I didn't know is, and you guys are probably in the comment section like, you didn't know that? So I turned in my voucher, I got my tickets, and I just noticed on the site that it said, hey, like, check for upgrades if you want. And all day, nothing available. And I check about an hour before the game, and sure enough, lower level tickets, 14 bucks each. The tickets were, quote, free with my package. You got to pay for the package, but you got them with that. So I paid an extra 14 bucks per seat for me and the wife, and we sat right behind the dugout. 14 bucks. I mean, you can't beat that. So the strategy probably moving forward is when I'm going to go to a game, get the upper level for 10 bucks, wait a little bit before the game starts because it's the Diamondbacks. It's not going to be sold out, but wait before the game starts and then see what upgrades are available. So that's probably going to be the strategy for me. But gonna go ahead, hit these legs, get this cardio in. Let's get it. All right, let's go ahead and chop up these tree trunks. Usually I get things kicked off with the abductor and adductor machine, but those were taken. This gym only has one of each. So I'm getting things kicked off with some calf raises. Do you guys have one of these machines, or I guess one of these chairs at your guys' gym? For me, I feel like the chair itself weighs a decent amount, so I don't need to put a lot of weight on it. Plus, it gets nice and deep at the bottom, where I can get a nice stretch on the calf and get a nice tight squeeze at the top. So for me today, I'm going to knock out 3 sets of 15 repetitions. Again, usually I might go a little bit higher on the rep volume on one of the other machines, but this one, I feel like because of the depth and because of the squeeze and the weight of the machine, I can get exactly what I need with 3 sets of 15. Now moving on over to the abductor and adductor, gotta wipe that machine off, get rid of those germs. Okay, so I want to talk about that for a minute. For me, I almost intentionally put in that I'm wiping the machine down because really I just want to show people kind of these good habits, because it's not about just thinking people are nasty before you or after you, what have you. It's the fact that there's so much bacteria on these machines that it's not worth kind of having a skin to skin contact and getting some sort of like ringworm or MRSA. You hear the horror stories coming out of the gym. So honestly, I haven't always done this, but just I've been more mindful as I get older, just to clean up, and cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say. So knocking out the hip abductor and adductor, each one of these is going to be 3 sets of 15 to 20. I like to go higher volume and get a nice squeeze, and I honestly feel like I've gained a lot of benefits by doing these. And one thing I will say is, with focusing on hamstrings and working out glutes, like the more and more you do these, you start to feel that mind muscle connection, even in the gluteus maximus. And what I also noticed that the inner part of my thighs are tightening up again. I have a long way to go, but for you bigger folks, I definitely recommend to be able to chop up that outer and inner thigh, in addition to, of course, gaining some strength and mobility. So head over to the lying leg curl. Now, one thing I will say is that, man, sometimes doing that little and getting up there, it's just you almost kind of slip forward a little bit. But of course, when it comes to hamstrings, I'm always gonna do minimum of 2 warm-up sets, and I don't go extremely heavy. So right now, I'm doing the first warm-up set, and then I'll get into my working set here momentarily. But with that, hamstrings are extremely sensitive. I'm probably not telling anything you guys don't know, but I'm not going to go crazy heavy. I want to get hamstrings nice and worked, but I always make sure I warm up because I don't want to snap anything up and where I'm MIA or out of the gym, because hamstrings can be sensitive. And I am no athlete, but I've always heard that once you injure a hamstring, it's very easy to be susceptible to get injured again. So just play things safe, get a couple warm up sets, in my personal opinion, and then get into your working sets where you can have a nice squeeze. And I'm going to knock out about, I think it was 3 sets, 12 to 15 repetitions. Now, with the seated leg curls, I like to get different angles. I mentioned in my previous videos all about angles, and I think if I can, I want to get the lying leg curl and the seated leg curl, both just really focus on those hamstrings. So today I didn't do any squats or leg press. I really wanted to focus on hamstrings, and then put some volume into the quads in using other machines or other different types of workouts. So with the hamstring curl, I like the seated, and I like the lying. I don't think I have a favorite one of either or, honestly. So getting into leg extensions, because it's been pretty much quad focused so far, I wanted to get some volume into these leg extensions. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is 3 drop sets. So I'm going to drop the weight 3 times. Now, I really didn't want to extend this portion of the video any longer, but I think it's important to kind of just show that I'm actually dropping the weight and not just clipping it, and then it's kind of you're piecing things together to quote unquote, hey, I'm doing a drop set, but you're really not type of thing. So, but again, you're going to start off with your first weight, which is going to be the highest weight. Me, I work my way down. I know some work their way up, where they start off lighter, then they go heavier and heavier. I go heavy because I feel like I have my most energy at the front part, and I'm getting taxed at the end. So if I'm doing that heavy weight at the end, for me, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm doing 3 sets of 12, so technically each set is going to be 36 repetitions. So I'm going to do 12, drop the weight, 12, drop the weight, and that's 1 set. And I'm going to do 3 sets of this. So because I didn't do squats or leg press today, I really wanted to get some volume by doing this, just to change things up, right? Doing the same thing week over week can get a little boring or mundane. And then from there, I wanted to go ahead and finish things off with the one thing I don't like doing, and I think a lot of people don't like doing, is lunges. Now, I'm not at the point yet where I'm doing anything weighted, but I am doing body weight lunges. So after putting that volume into my quads and putting that volume into my hamstrings, this is definitely a nice burn. And what I'm going to do is 3 sets, and I'm on a racquetball court. So I'm going to do one side, or I'm going to walk to one side and walk to the other. That's 1 set. And each way is about 20 steps, just depending on the length of my drive that I'm going. And I feel like my depth is getting better. I feel more stable versus when I first started doing these a few months back when I got back at the gym. It's much, much better. So, again, 3 sets, one way, then the other, and that's 1 set. So for me, it was a solid leg day. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Let me go ahead and get this thumbnail really quick. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.